Penguins fighting tortoises in the streets of Sedgefield. And a whole lot of other codswallop.
Just stuff happening.
Stuff. Yeah.
My name is Christopher Olsen.
And I'm still Bummer Webb.
And you're about to listen to This Week in Sedgefield. You've just tried to go out the toilet entrance.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Well, because it's a door. And doors.
One door's as good as
open.
another.
Yes, yeah. One door closes, another one opens.
Sometimes,
something like that. Yeah.
Sometimes there are times. Hey, it's the Oyster Festival coming up, 4th to the 13th of July. That's pretty much not quite next week, but we're hearing more and more about
It's
it.
close. Yeah, no, the week after.
Week after.
Yes, yeah.
And you've been to all of the schmoozing. You spoke about that last week a little bit. Some lovely dinners.
Oyster Festival. Yeah, nice.
Did you eat an oyster?
No, I didn't.
No?
No, I didn't go to the oyster shucking thingamabob.
Shucks, eh?
Because we're a bit short-staffed at the office at the moment, so I had to watch the office to make sure nobody stole it.
And that it behaves.
That
I know
happened.
your office.
Yes. Yeah. It's a bad office.
Leaky
it's
fellow.
a cold office.
Yeah.
So the oyster shucking and stuff that happened during the day, I couldn't go to, but I did go for the dinners.
Oh, lacquer. That does sound
nice,
good.
yeah.
Hey, I saw Cleone sent out on the one WhatsApp group, I think it was there, a lot of the events that are going to be happening, and it's over so many things. I really hope we do see that in the Edge again. But let's just, we've been highlighting a few of them as we go. It's very exciting to know that a bunch of people are going to be coming in for the marathon and all the many other things. But you mentioned that there is a bit of a treasure hunt.
Yes, yeah.
I like how that sounds.
Yes.
I like treasure.
I don't know what the treasure. Yes, I don't know how good the treasure is.
Yeah.
You see, they're encouraging Sedgefield to have its own events as part of the Oyster Festival.
Yeah.
Because Sedgefield's part of Neisner.
That's right.
And we used to kind of ignore it because we had our own slow festival.
Yes.
But we don't now.
We don't.
And we thought, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I say we. Musset and Darney thought it would be great.
Yeah.
So they've put together a treasure hunt.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's got something to do with the mosaics as well.
Oh, it would
I don't want to say too much.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise,
you know
I'd
where the
have to
treasure
kill
is.
No, I don't.
Okay, you're the treasure.
Well, I wouldn't say I did, because if it went missing, then I would be blamed.
I maintain that you're the treasure.
I'm the
Mama,
treasure.
You're the treasure of Sedgefield.
Oh, thank you.
I just wanted to take a moment to say that. A lot of us have been thinking it lately.
The treasure.
You're the treasure.
I don't quite know how to take that.
I don't know either.
As long as I'm not the treasurer, because I can't be trusted with any money.
Agreed. Shouldn't have agreed so readily to that.
No,
I'm sorry. That was
paused
actually a
for
bit
a while.
unkind. But we see in the Edge every so often. I'd love seeing it. The where in the world are you with your Edge? That's probably not its title, but always love to see that.
Actually, the title has changed because
okay, so it's not just me.
It's been Where in the World is Your Edge?
Yes.
Or Where in the World Are You? Or Where in the World was the Edge?
Where am I? Where am I?
We're quite settled.
Where am I?
It was something started by Ginny Viner, a lady who used to be in Sedgefield.
Used to be the treasure of Sedgefield, yeah.
Yeah. And she's now living in the Isle of...
Man.
Either Man or White. I can't remember.
Oh, maybe White Man?
It's the Isle of Man, Isle of Wight. Don't know. Anyway.
Isle of White Man.
I think it's the Isle of Man, actually. She suggested, and she used to run it for us. So people they take their newspaper on holiday with them.
So cool. I love that.
Cool? And they when they're in an exotic place or a holiday place, they have their picture taken reading their Edge.
Yeah.
So the one in this is Jill Thomas.
Okay.
Jill is an amazingly adventurous lady.
Oh, yeah? She a treasure hunter. She's my
a
competition,
treasure hunter. Yeah, she is the Laura Croft of Sedgefield. A little bit older than Laura Croft.
It's a great title
but Jill picks up snakes by the tail.
Why?
She does. She does.
Is it a hobby?
It was,
That is very Laura Croft.
I promised you
What?
it is. She was recently in the Zambezi. She loves to fish. So not in the Zambezi, at the Zambezi, by the Zambezi.
I'm picturing her in the Zambezi, like camo and like just grasping tails by this.
This trip was the Zambezi. The previous trip was the Eastern Highlands of Zimbabwe, which I know well.
Oh, cool.
And she's originally from there as well.
Yeah.
And she wanted to pick up a particular snake by the tail. I don't know if it was a gaboon viper or something like that.
What?
And they were amazed. And everyone that was with her stood well back from this because these are very poisonous. But she says,
this is
snake will not bite you if you pick it up from the tail and shake
throw it
a
really
bit.
far.
You shake it.
You shake it all
won't
about.
Be able to.
You put your right foot
I said to her,
in.
but what if it bites you and you die? She said, well, then that's the way to go. Which I agree.
It could happen to anyone, of course.
Anyway,
Can't live your life in fear.
Quest of hers, it wasn't to find a snake to hold the tail, even though she does wear her snake catcher's shirts.
Oh, does she?
This was to find the source of the Zambezi. That's
Barbecue.
SOURSRC.
Okay.
Not that it hasn't been found before.
Yeah, but to go on that adventure, that is very cool.
A huge amount of her life going to and from the Zambezi because she loves tiger fishing and bream fishing.
Yeah.
So she decided she wants to go to the source of the Nile.
Yes.
Not
of the Nile.
The Zambezi. So that happens to be it's near Winilunga.
That's a very long name. Winilunga.
Northwestern province of Zambia. Winilunga is the nearest town, but she says it's actually quite far from there.
A mission from there.
And I don't know how you know that it's the source. I suppose it's like when it's a trickle.
Yes.
From underground, and that's where it starts.
I think there's a special ray of light that hits just there.
It could be, yeah.
And like an organist.
And maybe the snakes sort of gather there.
They do.
Anyway, that's
Tails everywhere.
Jill Thomas, a real local character.
Oh, that is very, very cool.
She actually said to me that she went to the fire station a few months ago to complain. Because they are moving all the snakes found in Sedgefield to Cloud 9.
Cloud 9, yeah.
And she's not getting to pick them up by the tail and shake them anymore.
She could just go to Cloud 9, I'm sure.
She could, yeah.
It's not a restaurant there.
I think they stay well clear of her because they know you're getting.
Oh, there comes you.
Here comes that tail shaker. But we digress. We
do.
What else were we?
We're going to talk about. There was the governance and finance meeting.
The municipal council governance finance section 80.
So section 80 means that it's the kind of a section of the. It's not the full council that's meeting.
It's not the full council.
It's like that portfolio.
That portfolio.
Okay, so that's meeting.
I think that's what it means. Okay. Anyway, they were discussing finance and governance
in the governance and finance meeting
today. And I can't tell you the whole meeting. It wasn't very, very long, but interesting things came up. Very interesting little one-liners.
Those make a difference.
So one of the things was that our municipal manager, Mr. Lulamile Mafaloba,
he's pretty cool. I like it.
He seemed, look, he's no pushover.
That's right.
He says things like they are, or like he thinks they are.
Yeah, but
the jury's still out with him.
We'll have to see because a lot of very good talk. I think maybe I should phrase it like that. We're going to have to see.
We were very impressed that he came to Sedgefield to listen. But
that's been nice.
We're gonna move on to the budget a little bit later.
Yeah,
and discuss that. But anyway, at this finance and governance committee meeting, one of the things he said was, and I almost quote because I probably didn't write it down quite.
I
paraquote is that there's a lot of managers at the municipality.
This is true.
Who are being paid a fortune not delivering.
You know, I was thinking about that this morning, honestly, and it's something that you had said a while ago. Is what if we took kind of politicians or was it you said? Someone said drop them down to a much lower salary.
Yes, yeah.
Someone said minimum wage. I'm like maybe not minimum wage. But you know. A good salary, but this like 70, 80 grand a month kind of stuff. Is wild. But especially if you are being paid that, and if you're being paid that if you were just in a private company running as CEO or on the board or one of the really high up positions, and if you had been running your business like the municipality is being run and like some of these people are doing, like he's saying, there's no ways they would still have that job, right?
Well, and to be honest, this is quite a slight because. I mean, there are a lot
dangerous
of people,
territory he's venturing into.
A lot of people will say that about the municipality and world over.
Yeah.
When you talk government, because normally what happens is you only get one government. So you can't go, if you don't like that government, you can't say, well, I'm not going to use you anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the other government. They're cheaper and much more efficient.
Germany tried it. Didn't work. Didn't work.
So, but this is the chief. Well, he's not the CFO. He's the CEO, basically.
Yes.
The municipal manager is the
like
CEO.
Effectively the CEO.
He's the chief executive officer of the municipality. So he's talking about the people below him. Okay, there's directors below him, and then the directors have managers. And he said himself, managers here are being paid a fortune and not delivering. They're not well prepared for meetings.
Yeah.
They don't have answers. Yeah. Clearly, he wasn't talking about all the managers.
Yeah, not himself.
Hopes not.
If he's speaking about himself, then that's awkward.
So that came up at the meeting. Another thing that came up was that some councillors are not paying their municipal bills.
No ways.
Now that's quite
no
something.
Ways. That's
that's also quite.
Do you think they're like, well, I'm just paying my own salary, so I'll just.
I don't know. Yeah,
there's no way.
That's very strange. So that came up at this meeting.
That's a shocker.
Another thing that the municipal manager said.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be interesting because he's not going to be popular. He said that councillor interference in the work of the municipal manager and the chief financial officer is a breach of conduct.
Whoa.
He
that's
accused
very
them
forceful.
of getting, and he says they send us emails, they do this, they do that. He said it's a breach of conduct. Allow us to do our work. Otherwise, I will take that up because I have to do that by law.
Whoa.
In other words,
man, that's pretty intense.
Don't mess with Mr. Muffaloba.
Yeah, that's it. It's not just, I mean, when we were kind of first discussing it sounded like he was like, guys, please, I'm just trying to get on with work.
No.
Please stop bugging me. But he's like, no, we need to get this job done. Yeah. If you get in the way of it, there's going to be consequences.
If you slow the process down, then,
it could be good. It could be abused, right?
If he's a really good guy that can get on with his work and do it right, it's good. Yeah. If he is someone that needs to have someone looking over him and saying, hey, whoa, you can't do that. You can't employ that person. Then you need and that's what the council is there for. It's oversight.
But it's such a big oversight. I mean, how many people do we really need to do this?
It's like a big corporation that has a board of directors. If the managing director does wasteful expenditure, whatever, then they've got to stop him. So it's kind of a watch, but only get involved if you have to.
Yes.
And maybe they're getting involved where they don't have to, or maybe they do have to. We don't know. But that was another thing that he said.
Because, I mean, they came up with the whole Karatra auctioning thing. And
yes,
I think instead of launching into that, let's chat a little bit about should we chat a bit about the budget? I think we got time for that. Over the Karatra one, which is still in kind of grey territory. So maybe we'll pick it up again.
Let's quickly update the Karatra update.
Let's do everything you want to do, okay?
Okay. Well, we can't mention it and then not give the update.
That's right.
That's still got to go before another committee meeting.
Yes.
That's the Karatra shop that has been in the same family for many, many years, and someone else has bought it on auction. The municipality auctioned it, and this guy, a new buyer, bought it. So the contention is, should it have been put on auction? Are the things they didn't take into consideration? Now, one of the guys at this particular meeting, Mr. Chokolo.
Councillor Chokolo,
Councillor Chokolo. He said
CPBI.
at the one meeting where they were talking about the auctions of various properties, including this Earth 150 in Karatra.
Yeah, because there was Buffles, there was a bunch of them. Yeah,
Renendal and all that. When they were saying we think these should be taken off the list, he said, we were assured that the final decision, after they've been auctioned, the final decision whether to accept the auction price or not lies with council.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was kind of, don't panic. Don't worry about this.
Let's kick the can a little bit.
Get the final decision. But in this meeting now, when they were talking about looking at the, basically the municipal manager said, if we don't accept the sale, then it's wasteful expenditure because you do have to pay the auctioneer his commission
and all the advertising, there's a lot of money that actually went into it.
A lot of commission.
Okay.
So that Mr. Chikola, Councillor Chikola was saying, well, hang on, we weren't told about this before. That's why we allowed them to be auctioned. And so there's a whole lot of things. And then there was another Section 80 meeting a while back that said take them off.
Yeah, the recommendation that they brought before the big council meeting. Yeah.
Other councillors were saying, how can they take them off? It was a council decision to put them on the sale list. So there's a lot of discussion. But anyway, they've delayed the decision on that for another council or Section 80 meeting. Yeah. So it's still not finalized.
See, that must be, I mean, that's frustrating for me. And this just seems like just an example of how these decisions take so long to be made because it gets so tied up and you listen in and it's constantly raising new things. It does. It feels kind of bloated and difficult, but I mean, such is life and such are these things. Yeah. And this would include probably the budget.
The budget,
The budget as well.
So we did speak about it last time. Yeah, we've got quite a bit about the budget in our paper because, you, I think, mentioned last time, the Knysna municipality issued their budget for 2025-26 and heralded it as progressive.
That's it. They gave themselves a good old pat on the back.
Yeah, they did.
We've done
it. It was adopted by a majority vote, so that didn't include the DA, obviously their opposition. And they're saying it's great. This property rates have gone up by 4.3%. Electricity 13% for business, 16% domestic. Water of 4.3% up, and refuse removal 20% up.
20.
Sanitation.
I don't know how anyone could look at that budget and not be like, yes, fantastic. I would just echo them. And then I loved in the last paragraph of that, they were, was it Matika? Someone was it Matika? He was saying, hey, it was just so great to have all of these public consultations and do all that.
I'll read it too. The residents of Greater Knysna must be thanked for their active participation in the recent budget consultation process. Public participation strengthens our democracy and ensures the choices we make reflect the needs of our people.
That was a trumpet, by the way.
And to quote Shrek, it's a big but.
Yes. But
the Sedgefield Ratepayers Association.
Yes, and the Garden Route.
And the Garden Route District Ratepayers Association. Yeah. And obviously the DA opposition are saying, what a load of codswallop.
Are you sure? Did you? What? What? And I loved how you guys positioned it there in the paper where you've got the council, the municipalities, the council's kind of release on it, and then you just turn over a page, I think.
And then there's the response. And there's the response. Oh, thanks. You came, you spoke about it, we discussed it, and then you ignored everything we said.
Yeah, thanks. That's great to get public consultation, but to do nothing with it, it's frustrating.
That's also why the jury's still out on the MM.
Okay.
The municipal manager.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Let's see how it goes with this. This is going to be one of the big telltale signs. But, I mean, it's already kind of gone through and been accepted and been applauded and all that.
And I'm dreading my first bill after that. Everything's going to shoot up. My hat.
Yeah. Maybe that's what those councillors are just waiting for.
So they can shoot up.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. No. Sorry. That
escalated. Let's de-escalate to World Environment Day, which happened on the 5th of June.
5th of June, World Environment Day. Yes.
Where we all took a moment to live in the environment.
We did, yes.
We were living in an
in
environment.
Fact, all day, I was in the environment.
Were you in the environment the whole day?
Yes, yeah. I was.
I checked out for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
I got to admit,
where did you go?
That's none of your business.
Okay.
No, I think it's kind of rude to ask.
Yeah, so World Environment Day, basically a Be Kind to Your Planet Day. But silly, really, because we should be kind to our planet every day.
You just called World Environment Day silly.
Wow,
I'm just saying you there.
I suppose it's a reminder.
It's a reminder. That's good. Yeah, reminders are good,
like
all of them.
Nelson Mandela Day, where they say be kind to people on that day.
Yes.
Should really be kind to people on every
Every day, yeah.
But it is a reminder.
An extra reminder. Okay, cool. No, we do.
But
we like that good reminder.
What we did come up with while we were discussing this was that phone call that I had on my phone.
I've got the stats here.
Have you got the stats?
If you do want, so you can introduce it. I'll give you the numbers.
Okay, so I got a phone call from a lady who said, "By the way, did you know that the world record for people dressed as turtles in one place at one time?" Now, we have to understand that because this is a world record, Americans call tortoises turtles.
How dare they? How dare they? I'm outraged.
Why?
I've been okay with America this whole time.
Look,
no.
Somebody today mentioned that the Beatles were American.
That
was bad enough. That was so bad.
You're having quite a day, man.
I am.
You are.
Anyway, turtles, tortoises, I think we can put them all in the same shell. So the world record, going back to that, of the most people in the same place dressed as turtles /
Yeah. And it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
It used to be...
It
used to be 836, but it's just in Orlando, you were telling me that it is now 1,394 people who have dressed as turtles in one location.
So what this lady suggested was that Sedgefield try and beat that.
I'm in.
I reckon.
I've got a few extra outfits here.
Let's wear your shell suit. Yeah. But then we digressed, didn't we? Because listeners may have picked up that we're kind of a little bit penguin fanish.
We're partial to penguins.
We're partial to penguins. Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit partial to penguins. Yeah. So then we thought maybe we should have a dress up as a penguin day.
That sounds good. And
it does sound good,
because but the record on that is 972.
Easier to beat.
It is.
To beat.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is, even though you and I are passionate penguin people, potentially, we could have a bit of an uproar on our hands, because a penguin isn't a Sedgefield thing. A tortoise is.
It's an everything thing, though. But a tortoise is.
Then we thought, out of the penguin box, why don't we have
a penguin box?
Why don't we break both records?
Let's do it.
And have over 1,300 and whatever tortoises, people dressed up as tortoises.
Yeah.
Then a further 1,000 and something people dressed up as penguins.
Yes.
And then we could arm them all with pool noodles, penguin pool noodles. And have a war.
A proper battle.
Proper battle between
that sounds
penguins and tortoises.
That's it. And have you heard of LARPing?
LARPing.
It's the pretend fantasy play where people dress up medieval and kind of fantasy play, and you actually have these big people with characters and everything like that, and they all show up in a location, and they have these kind of styrofoam swords and all cosplay kind of costumes and things, and look really cool. And then they go about and have these big battles, and if you get hit in the arm, then you tuck your arm behind your back. And then you keep battling, and then you try to
your other arm.
Yeah, and then you've got the king on the other side, and you try to fight them off, and it's a whole movement.
So
man.
we can do that with tortoises and penguins.
Oh, I think there's something to that.
I think there definitely is.
I think there's going to be very, very cool.
I think there's method in this madness.
Like it. Yes. Hey, before we go, can we get a quick update on Emma Grace? Because there was in the...
I thought you were going to say immigration there.
Immigration.
That's American politics.
Yeah.
We're not going there.
Not going there.
Emma Grace. I exchanged messages with Emma's mom, Vanessa.
Yeah.
And then her dad phoned me, so he's back in Sedgefield.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But both are so positive about Emma's recovery.
Oh, that's good to hear. Oh, that's good to hear.
Months and years and what have you. She's talking. Her jaw's kind of wired.
Okay.
Because it broke.
Yeah.
So I would imagine she's talking a bit like
But she's talking and able to talk and be understood.
And her memories are coming back steadily. She's really responding well.
Sure, that's great.
The neurosurgeon is very, very impressed. She's steadily from the high ICU to high care to semi-high care. They said at the end of the month, within a month, I think she'll be home.
Wow.
And that she might soon be able to go back to school.
Goosebumps, man. Oh, what an answer to prayer. So thankful. So happy about that.
Yeah. But one thing that did come up with the chat, general chat today was it doesn't mean we must let go of this drive to make that intersection safer.
It's still sketchy. It doesn't feel safe. We're worried about it.
It really doesn't. Yeah.
Something has to change.
So,
be good to hear what comes about from the petition.
Yes.
A lot of people did sign, and hopefully we hear something.
Yeah. And before we go,
quick, yes.
Eagles! Eagle stars!
Yes, so great to see them on the front page, just dominating, man.
What an epic pick.
Where do we get merch? That would be cool, right?
Well, I've asked.
Have you asked?
I'm hoping that they'll sell us some merch.
Yeah, I would get that
we
shirt.
do. I'll wear one of those rugby jerseys. Yeah.
I'll get that face tattoo.
They're green as well.
Are they? Oh, yes, that's right.
So when you go and support the Springboks, you can wear your Eagle Stars rugby jersey. Yeah.
Oh,
no, really cool. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Man, two big matches in a row they've won.
And there's another one coming up.
This week, Saturday.
Yes.
It's an away match.
Yeah, but where is it?
It is.
Might be worth the drive.
A long way away. No, it's not.
It's not that far away.
Is it Riversdale?
I don't know. My wife took my copy of The Edge. I had a copy.
It is in Riversdale.
Riversdale.
Yes. What a good memory I have.
You do.
Frank. It's in Riversdale. It's an away match. So if you want to go to Riversdale and watch, you can. It's a bit far for me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. They're top of the league.
I know, that is so cool.
Top of the league.
They're a fantastic team. It is such exciting rugby
really
to watch. I missed this last one at home, but I know if you guys went, and that's just so cool. Let's keep supporting them. Love that. Awesome stuff. Picking Baby Eagle Stars. It just does so much for the community. But that does it for us for today. We had a few other things, but we'll bump them over to next
and
week.
We've still got to do that talk on social
media. Yeah.
Going to do that.
No, very keen.
On the to-do.
It is. That'll be the actual to-do, and we'll do it. Okay, but that's it for today. Hey, thanks so much for the chat.
It's been real.